In 2007, BP signed a major exploration and production sharing agreement with the government of the Sultanate of Oman for the appraisal and development of Khazzan-Makarem Block 61 fields. This block covers an area of 2,800 square kilometers in central Oman. BP started a 6-year appraisal program before deciding, together with the government of Oman, whether to develop the fields for full-scale production. In October 2007, contracts were awarded for seismic operations, drilling rigs and engineering services. In March 2008, BP started its largest onshore 3D seismic survey in Oman, setting world productivity records. The data was used to analyze the fields and to decide drilling locations. In September 2008, BP began drilling its first well. In early 2009, construction contracts were awarded for building an extended well test facility. The EWT was a pilot facility that aimed to give BP valuable appraisal data about the performance of the reservoir. BP continued with its appraisal drilling program throughout the year. In April 2009, BP hosted a contractor health and safety workshop in Muscat, focusing on driving safety. In May 2009, construction on connecting pipelines and the EWT compressor station started in Block 61. Later in 2009, BP carried out the largest hydraulic frac stimulation in Oman. In October 2009, BP sponsored its centenary concert with the Royal Symphony Orchestra of Oman. In November, a week-long road and driver safety campaign took place in which more than 500 BP staff and contractors participated. Shortly after, BP Oman achieved 50% Omanization, a major success on the way to nationalizing BP steam in the country. Just before 2010, the first compressor was also delivered to the EWT site. The project site also hosted VIPs from Oman and abroad. His Excellency Ministry of Oil and Gas Rumhi visited Block 61 and reviewed construction activities. In January, BP started drilling operations on its 6th well and then carried out its first high-rate water frac on the Khazzan 7th well. In April 2010, a workshop on diversity and inclusion was held in Muscat, after which the first Omani expat was sent on assignment abroad. Shortly after, drilling began on the 7th well. 2 million man-hours were also completed without a day away from work case. Mid-2010, compressor station flare stack was installed and hydrotesting of Khazzan 5 piping started. In autumn 2010, the EWT compressor station was ready to accept hydrocarbons. By the time Khazzan 5 was commissioned, 6.5 million kilometers were also driven on the project. At the end of 2010, BP drilled its first horizontal well, Khazzan 9. It was completed with a reach of 738 meters. Also a frac with 2 million pounds was carried out on Khazzan 8. Also first gas arrived at the EWT compressor station. BP Oman also sponsored an exhibition in London at the British Museum to mark the 40th anniversary of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. In January, the EWT facilities were commissioned. On February 24th, the EWT compressor station was officially inaugurated by Oman's Minister of Oil and Gas Rumhi and UK Prime Minister David Cameron. This marked the culmination of all efforts went into exploration of wells and the construction of the extended well test facilities in the Khazzan field. 17 graduates joined BP Oman in different departments as part of the Challenge program, BP's structured development program for graduate recruits. BP Oman announced the new Khazzan Project logo, which was selected through a design competition among the project team. As of December 2011, the Khazzan 9 well was complete, BP's longest deep amine horizontal well in Oman, with a 750-meter horizontal section. BP Oman also achieved the safe completion and commissioning of receiving facilities for 3 more wells. the same time, an Omanization rate of over 70% was achieved. In January 2012, BP marked 1 year of production operations from EWT without a single day away from work case, a key measure of safety performance. BP and its well contractor Dalma also achieved 2,000 days of work at the LR5 rig without a lost time incident. BP Oman team also met at a family day integrating national and international members of staff. In March 2012, BP participated at the Sultan Qaboos University Career Fair to inform new graduates about employment opportunities at its Oman branch. BP supported a summer school program for a community near its concession area, providing classes in maths, English and IT for children, and sewing and handicrafts courses for women. BP Oman established a trainee technician program in cooperation with the National Training Institute of Oman. The training center in Muscat was launched in January 2013. Instrument, mechanical, electrical and production courses were started in an advanced training facility that aimed to develop world-class technicians over a 5-year period. Initially, 21 Omani fresh graduates were recruited to the program. In April 2013, BP Oman welcomed its second batch of technicians, consisting of 10 mechanical and 10 electrical technicians. Negotiations between BP and the government of Oman continued successfully with the signing of an initial commercial framework agreement, a strong basis for BP to move ahead toward a final investment decision on Khazzan.
The heads of agreement were signed this morning.
Throughout 2013, BP Oman continued its Challenge program, which is a global initiative for new graduate recruits in their first 3 years with BP. In November, the team gathered on the Global Challenge Day to review their voluntary work to make a difference to the communities in which the company operates. By the end of 2013, BP had hired around 30 young Omani professionals onto its Challenge program. BP Oman's Wells program successfully continued its drilling activities throughout 2013. For full field developments, new rig contracts were awarded. Dalma Energy's rig contract was extended, and additional rig contracts were tendered. At least 8 rigs will be deployed during the full field development. In 2007, Omani nationals consisted only 17% of the team. Since then, Omanization has been a priority for the leadership. By the end of 2013, Omanization has successfully reached 73%. The team also achieved a significant milestone by exporting 20 billion standard cubic feet of gas to the Omani government without a single day away from work case. On 16 December 2013, the government of Oman and BP signed a gas sales agreement and an amended production sharing agreement for the full field development of the Khazzan field with BP as operator. The new project will involve the drilling of around 300 new wells, the construction of a gas plant, and hundreds of kilometers of pipelines. The project represents the first phase of the development of one of the Middle East region's largest unconventional tight gas accumulations and the major new source of gas supply for Oman. Since reaching this major milestone, BP has been getting into action on the Khazzan project. In February, the amended exploration and production sharing agreement for Khazzan was made official through a Sultan's decree. BP also welcomed a new partner, the Oman Oil company for exploration and production, which became a 40% shareholder in the Block 61 concession. BP also made progress in placing major contracts for the Khazzan project, including a $1.2 billion contract for the central processing facility with Petrofac and the contract for the gathering systems and export line with Jacobs Engineering Group. Looking ahead, BP is now in action to safely deliver the Khazzan Project, bringing first gas to Oman in 2017, with plateau production of 1 billion cubic feet of gas per day. This is equivalent to an increase of 1/3 in the Sultanate of Oman's current production.